Hey guys, welcome to tonight's episode of the 260 Soccer Show, powered by Fort Wayne Footy. My gosh, we have a lot to cover tonight, and honestly can't wait to jump into all the local news. We have a fantastic guest tonight that we're going to talk about lots of cup play from the weekend. There was a decent amount of success around the 260 area code. With cup play. So we'll bring Rob on in a little bit and chat through some of that. I am Amanda Burge and joined tonight by Todd and Brian. Fellas, how's this week been for you?
It's this weekend's been busy, but not at the soccer field. I had the privilege of 7 grad parties to go to. One of the privileges of coaching a 19U team the past couple of years. Get plenty of grad parties, plenty of good food.
Does that explain the Hawaiian shirt tonight?
That does. And I've also got my cup shirt on.
All right.
So.
Spectacular. How about you, Brian?
I
don't think you can top that.
I did not have grad parties to go to this weekend, but I have worked with high school students most of my career. And so I feel grad parties are fun, a lot of good food. But man, it's a lot of food. It's a lot of moving around the city. So yeah, I feel you. This weekend, for me, it wasn't full of a lot of soccer, which was kind of great. Just taking a little bit of a break, but did get to the Fort Wayne FC match last night. Got to cover that, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow on Fort Wayne Footy.
Yeah, absolutely. Great teaser. Well played. Yeah. It's almost like you're going to be there or something.
It almost is. And I do have to say right here at the top of the show, it's a little dangerous inviting me on and giving me full control of backstage graphics and everything. So who knows what's going to
notice who's in the upper left-hand corner here, and it's not you. Except I don't have any controls.
No, you don't. That's the problem.
Terrifying. Hey, Brian, can you just give us a quick rundown of some of these local shout outs? Some pretty cool people doing some pretty cool things.
Yeah, for sure. Last night I mentioned I was at the Fort Wayne FC match, and we had, I love that they always do the walkouts with the players. And I think they're getting the timing of that a little bit better. So like when players are actually there when they're doing the starting lineups. And so that's kind of fun. Yesterday we had Fort Wayne United, teams from Fort Wayne United and Huntertown Rec walk out with the players there at the beginning of the match. And then Southside High School was recognized as the team of the match there at halftime, which is always fun, right? To see players that we know and recognize in different arenas, from club to high school so I love the fact they got club at the beginning and they've got a high school team at halftime. So that's a lot of fun seeing them out there. Congrats to them for their recognition. It was fun to see all the green hanging out in the one section of the stadium. So
I can't imagine how Southside managed to have that connection.
There's probably a name, a Beasley somewhere along the way.
Somewhere in there. Had a birthday this week.
So no, I got to see some friends from Southside walking around in the concourse, and so that was a lot of fun. As far as player shout outs, we had a few, last month, Marta Lopez, we had announced that I think Paul was talking about being called up to the US U14 regional mini camp, and talked a little bit about that. She just got a call up to the national camp, national ID camp in Fayetteville, Georgia, which is where the new Arthur Blank U.S. Soccer National Training Center is. If you are familiar with the work they've been doing down there, we had a guest on the show last year, David Gerson from Refs Need Love Too. If you've seen him on social media, he's been doing a lot at that training center. So his social media has been full of things that they've been doing with referees down there. But pretty cool that Marta got a call up. There's 60 players, I believe, invited to this one. So sounds like a large group, but 60 players from across the country invited to the national mini camp. It was pretty exciting. National ID camp was pretty exciting. 6-day camp down there, and it's her next step in the U.S. Youth National soccer program and progression. So congrats to Marta for her hard work and achievement there. Landon Wells, we just received news. If you remember him, he and his buddy Lucha have been called up to the Guatemalan U20s. Landon just got a second call up to camp here recently. And so I don't know that we have details on when that is. We just saw that he got the call up today.
I believe it's early this, I guess next month, early June. It's still May. It's still May for another couple hours.
Yeah. And actually, it looks like Marta's there in Fayetteville right now. Not coming up. It sounds like she's there May 26th to the 31st, coming home today, I guess. So yeah, we'll be interested to hear how that one goes. We'll have to follow up with her on that. And then as far as college signings, we know we've seen some commitments, some early commitments to some colleges from local players, and we will save those till we see a signing. But if there are some that we missed this week, we don't always catch everything on social media, and sometimes it's not always on social media. So if there's something we missed, shout out for a high school player signing with a college, let us know in the comments, and we'll be sure to shout them out tonight or next week as we go.
Yeah, for sure. This is such a busy season of the back and forth. Like even yesterday morning, my crew played at 8 a.m. and we had 4 coaches sitting at our field. This morning, 8 a.m., we had 3 coaches sitting at our field. Some are saying, hey, do you have any unsigned seniors at this point? But some are looking to start that junior class and even chatting some of the sophomores. Obviously, they have to be in the right category to be allowed to do that, but they are. So, I mean, it is constantly moving, and we're just super excited to see some of the things at that level here in Fort Wayne. Todd, I think there have been a couple, if we move a little higher in the age bracket. You've got an update for us on 1927, right?
Yep. Well, 1927 and the Fort Wayne Sport Club over 30s. So going up a little bit higher yet. But the 1927 men played at Tournament of Champions this weekend. For those that don't know, big regional Region 2 tournament, adult amateur tournament was held at Fort Wayne Sport Club. 1927 went with 2 wins and 2 losses. The fantastic thing there, they had the opportunity to play some of the new guys that maybe don't get some of the as much time in league games. So they went 2-2 there. The next match for 1927, next home match this Wednesday at 6:00, June 3rd at Sport Club. It's only $5 admission. Great team, great talent. Some former Fort Wayne FC players played in the early days there. Young college talent. Come out and watch them. The over 30s.
You just offended a whole lot of people.
Yep. No, the over 30s. Step it back just a little bit. Also competed at Tournament of Champions. Lost the final by 1 goal to a Michigan team. So fantastic result there, finishing second in the region for the over 30s. Originally announced was the Amateur Cup Championship game, the Region 2, but the final is between 2 teams from Chicago, so they moved that from the Sport Club and Tournament of Champions up to Chicago area. Travel with adult teams sometimes isn't quite that easy, so they moved that match. Bringing it back to the youth, a lot of cup action this weekend. As we spoke 2 weeks ago.
Hey, Todd, real quick, can I jump in before we go to the youth stuff? I just thought this was interesting. You mentioned the Tournament of Champions, Region 2. I had to look this up and go, what is Region 2? How big is this Northeast Indiana? Is this Northern Indiana? So I'm going to throw a map on the screen just so people are aware if you're watching online. Region 2, that's a lot of states in this U.S. Amateur Soccer Association. Michigan, Minnesota, it goes as far northwest as South Dakota, it looks like, and so as far southeast or northwest as South Dakota and southeast as Kentucky, and easternmost is Ohio. So big region in Region 2. Did we have teams, do you know, from all of those states or just a sprinkling of that?
That I don't know. I know we had Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, some of the closer states. I didn't recognize a lot of the teams and they didn't list states.
Okay.
But there are 4 regions that then the champions, the Amateur Cup champion for Region 2 goes and plays in a national championship event from there. So these are some of the qualifiers and things like that.
Cool.
But yeah, definitely big region.
Yeah, for sure.
In cup play, we had 40% of our teams advanced to final weekend. Those from Fort Wayne Sport Club, Fort Wayne United, and Rangers, which is fantastic for the area.
Yep.
A lot of champions, a lot of finalists in Boys State Cup. Fort Wayne United, 19U Boys National League were champions. The 14U Boys National League were champions. And the 16U boys were finalists. From Fort Wayne Sport Club for State Cup, we had the 14U Bochum was finalists, and they got a bid to nationals from that as well for the finalists because the champion had already advanced to nationals. So they got the State Cup winning bid. President's Cup, Rangers, their solo entry ended up champions. The 14U DA Blue were champions.
That's awesome.
Fort Wayne Sport Club, 16U Bayern were finalists, and the 13U Berlin from Fort Wayne Sport Club were champions. So a lot of champions, a lot of finalists on the boys' side. What do we got on the girls?
My eyes that don't want to stay open any longer because it's been a really long, fabulous, but long weekend. But before we get to that, hush. Before we get to that, for State Cup, the United U16 girls actually played right behind us this morning, and from everything I could hear, was a tough fought match, and they came up as a finalist in that one. And then on the sport club side, U17 Dresden won 1-0. I got to catch that second half of that match. We think, and we can't actually confirm this stat because who knows how long we've been keeping stats. That's actually their third State Cup title in 4 years. And rumor has it that might be the first time a team has won the State Cup period 3 times. If anybody is listening, we always welcome. We'll throw this thing under review next week. Let us know if you're aware of another team that's also done that. But crazy cool shout out to Dresden. Speaking of opponents also getting bids to nationals, Dresden qualified back in Arizona, as did the U19 ladies from United. So Dresden was already in, which they were playing Indy Premier. And so Indy Premier will actually get that national bid from State Cup this morning because Dresden can't go twice. So again, let us know if we missed that one. On to President's Cup. You may or may not know, I think we've mentioned it a few times. I have the privilege of coaching the U19 ladies at Sport Club, the Potsdam team. And we were actually able to defend our President's Cup title this morning. Crazy hard fought battle against ND11 that did in fact go to penalties. I've got some thoughts on that today, but maybe we'll save those for right now and see how timing pans out.
How many rounds of penalties did you go?
So we missed our first, made the next 3. They missed their first 2, made 1, and then missed their 4th. So we didn't get to our 5th. Little tiny backstory, shout out to a sophomore that I might have borrowed from Todd for a game a while back. And on the way home, I texted him and I said, yeah, I think I'm going to need to roster her. She's fabulous. We actually had her ready to anchor our penalties as a sophomore playing U19. And she didn't have to take the shot. Her sister, however, is a senior and was in the net for us and did a fantastic job. Indy 11 did miss a few, but she saved some and just did it was actually a penalty shootout where she caught my attention last fall when Belmont beat Dwenger in sectional finals, I believe. And she actually took the last PK, took her gloves off, threw them off to the side, takes a PK, screamer upper 90, and the official calls it back. And he's like, I wasn't ready. And so she doesn't normally take PKs. Yeah, Brian, as a keeper, you were just like, ah. And so then she's like, I got this. She's not rattled. She puts the ball right back on the 12, screamer upper 90, exact same shot. So like everybody had already celebrated. Everybody had already cheered. They're all freaking out. Belmont's just beat Dwenger, and she has to do it again. And she does. So I walked down the bleachers to her parents and I was like, hey, we need a keeper. And so we ended up getting a keeper and my sister. So it was super fun for them to get to play together again, because they thought that night was going to be their final time to play together. So super fun day for us. I don't know if you can see that hardware back there over my shoulder.
Look at that.
But very well earned. The ladies did a fantastic job today, and it was a team effort from start to finish for sure. Also, Dortmund from Sport Club, our U16 team, they needed a 6-goal differential today to move on. There were only 3 teams in their bracket, and so it was a little wonky. They played one game last weekend and then this morning or this afternoon, and they needed a 6-goal differential, and they won 8-0. So it was decidedly theirs.
Wow.
And they will move on to regionals. They're not typically a super high scoring team. They possess well, they play well together, but they win most of their games by 1 or 2. And today they just let them rip. It was really, really fun to watch. And then, so
you have feelings about penalties. I have feelings about goal differential and needing so many. But we'll save that for another time too.
Yeah, I have feelings about team culture, which we'll save for another time. I will just say for right now, I love Potsdam's team culture. It's an absolute honor to coach these ladies. And I don't love some other team cultures, none of which are at Sport Club or Fort Wayne for that matter. But again, we'll get into that later.
Is that the team that I coached with you? Is that what you're trying to say, Amanda? Like back in the day?
No.
I feel like Todd was throwing me under the bus. It has nothing to do with United or Sport Club, but
yeah, not
the
Fort
team
Wayne.
I coached with Brian that wasn't part of any of those.
It has to do with a shared opponent that Todd and I have had, and we have had less than stellar experiences.
Yes,
all 3 times.
Yes.
Yes.
I will refrain from commenting.
Yeah. We'll just say there were some yellows thrown around this morning, and my team got 0 of them. And they didn't all go to players. There, enough said. Moving on, literally moving on before I say more than I should.
This is what makes this show fun, Amanda. This is why I'm glad I'm here tonight.
I really just want to get on my soapbox. I called my husband on the way home today. He wasn't able to go with me. And I think by the end of it, he's like, so how do you feel about them? And I was like, pretty sure you know. It's like, let's raise these kids to, Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I
Gotta
agree
move on.
100%.
Yes, I know you do.
Hey, we've got some comments I thought I'd throw out there too.
Oh, good. Yeah, break this thing up.
So we've got, the year 2026, the year of the Indy 11 penalty kicks. That happened with Fort Wayne FC, if you remember. Paul is in the chat getting on people's case for talking about USL tonight and not local stuff otherwise. I also had one I wanted to throw up here as we were talking about cup winners. I thought this was kind of cool. The Wilkins family bringing home 2 state cups from Dresden, I believe, and then the 19U boys from Fort Wayne United. So cool that 2 kids playing in state cup tournaments, and they both brought home championships, so nobody had to go home upset and jealous of the other. Congratulations. That's really that actually is really awesome.
Now the unfortunate thing for the Wilkins family is those nationals that they've now qualified for are in 2 completely different states.
Oh no.
That's a parental divide and conquer.
That makes
Okay, and one more shout out on cup play. My assistant coach, who I would not coach without because she's fantastic, Gia, is my assistant coach at Potsdam, but she has been with Ken Neuber with Dresden for a long time. So she's the assistant of both. Won President's Cup with Potsdam, won State Cup with Dresden, and another Casaburo, her cousin, plays for the U19 United team. So that family took home some hardware as well, which is just fun.
And here's a Fort Wayne Footy connection. So we've got 3 coaches that are on the show that all won some hardware. Amanda,
Micah
Anthony,
won.
and Micah.
Yeah. And it looks like we had Sean in the chat. Sean took second. Was he runner up?
Okay.
So Fort Wayne Footy coaches were 3 for 4.
Yeah.
Man, I got to catch up on these comments. If Matt's over here saying y'all have the next 2 episodes planned, Brian, don't delete those. I need to go see what our plan is for the next 2 episodes. Thanks for doing the dirty work, guys. Appreciate it.
I mean, it's penalties and it's goal differential.
Culture. Yeah.
And team culture.
Yeah.
We got 3. We got 3 ready to go in our back pocket, Amanda.
Absolutely.
And we just have to find a way, Todd, if I'm not on the next show, because there's a very good chance I might not be. I may not be invited back after tonight. You just have to be the one, you or Paul have to be the one that picks at Amanda to make sure she gets on that soapbox and starts talking again.
Okay.
Todd and I will have to knock each other off that soapbox because we're going to get on it at the same time. One leg, not my broken one, but one leg on mine and one leg of his. Hey,
I got a fun comment here. Let's check this one out. What level Patreon membership do you need for the unfiltered version of this episode? That is a good question, Christina, and maybe we will add some. I don't even want to say. I'll just leave it there.
That's a great question. We should do that. Fort Wayne Footy Unfiltered.
Ooh,
there's a new segment for us.
That might get scary.
Hey, Paul, you commented Dresden's third, yes. Can you and your statistical wisdom fact check that real fast and see if you see anybody in the recent, I don't know how long, that's ever won it 3 times? That'd be lovely. I feel like you've probably already done it, but if you can help on that, since you're the guru on those things, that would be great. Okay, I've been trying to say for the last 10 minutes, on the Girls Challenge Cup side, Fort Wayne Sport Club U12 Mains were the champion today, which is fantastic. We didn't have Challenge Cup boys. Was that not finished this weekend?
I don't believe we had any from the city, the area make finals.
Okay.
From what I saw online.
Okay.
If I'm
just
wrong,
wanted to make
somebody
sure.
correct me, but I don't believe we did.
Okay. Sounds good. Todd, as I've mentioned, my head hurts and is spinning with everything that just got dumped on me 12 hours ago, winning this beautiful hardware back here. Can you just give us a brief landscape view of what's next for those that won State Cup today? What's next for those that won President's Cup? What does this even look like from this point?
I could,
for
but
the
then now everybody's head might be spinning and hurting because there is a new format. So those that won State Cup and some others have qualified for the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championships. As I alluded to earlier, there's actually 2 different. The boys are in Salt Lake City. The girls are in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. There is a new format. So back in the day, you had your State Cup champions went to regionals. The regional champion then went to nationals. You had 4 teams for each age group, for each gender, go to nationals. They changed that this year. Well, they changed it a little bit a few years back, but this year they really opened it up. So for the State Cup champions, they've done away with regionals, right? Everybody advances automatically to nationals. So you've got the 54 state champions. Yes, I know we only have 50 states. Some states, Ohio, California, Pennsylvania, and I believe New York have 2 associations because of the number of teams and players. So you have the 54 state champions plus 10 champions from winter events, which we've had several local teams advance through those winter events. So you've got a total of 64 teams for each age group, for each gender advancing to nationals. They then split those 64 into 32 team brackets a super group and a premier group. They've already they split that before anybody plays any games. They just decided on these 2 groups, and they now have an 8-day event with 3 days of preliminaries, a rest day, quarter, semi, rest day, finals. So if you make it to the finals, you're there 8 days. So it's an intense event because you've got these 64 teams all vying for one championship. We'll get into that a little bit more later. But on the President's Cup side, it remains sort of the same as it has been. They did change that up. They added some more regions to it, but there's a regional. You win your regional, you advance to nationals. Regionals for President's Cup, those from the area get to travel all the way to Grand Park in Westfield, Indiana.
So happy. That's fantastic.
Which making it to regionals, it's a blast, even if it is in Westfield. Had the privilege one regional of competing there, and we took the team, and we still made it an away event, even though we were close and spent the week as a team. Fantastic experience. But then the nationals in July are in Wichita, Kansas, if they win the regional. So that's what's next for the State Cup winners, for the President's Cup winners. Challenge Cup ends at the state level. And I'm reading Christina's comment. It's kind of interesting on our different states. State Farm.
State of mind.
State of mind. I'll throw State of Confusion in there sometimes, especially when talking about the landscape of youth soccer.
JP Morgan.
Yeah, state of names.
That showed up in our Discord, by the way, that Christine, if you're listening, I hope that was unintentional, the JP Morgan and not JP Jordan comment, but I'm guessing it was probably intentional. Throwing shade at one of us. So
she doesn't do anything unintentionally.
No, she doesn't, but sometimes I like to catch her if she is.
And I will say another beef, and George, if you're listening to this show, can we please not have the U18s and 19s playing at 8:00 in the morning? Like, these little kids, they're already up at 6. Let's just let them go play then, and let my energy drink in hand 17 and 18s get a little more sleep in the morning. So this weekend, both games are at 8 a.m. and they already have us slotted for regionals all 3 days at 8 a.m. Just like, it's brutal. Let the little guys, they're up anyway. Let's make a little shift.
It is so hard to be a champion, isn't it, Amanda?
It really is. It's bothering me. No, I'm happy. I just want George to change the slots for next year. It'll be fine. Hey, so on that note, let's go ahead and bring our guest, Rob Berkeley, in to chat a bit about his experience with State Cup and his champion boys.
How's it going, everybody?
Great. Thanks for being here, Rob. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Hey, while you're jumping on here, can you just give us a quick intro to you, what you're up to in the soccer world, maybe a little bit about your Fort Wayne roots, and then just as a heads up, the comments are fair game. So if anybody in the comments has questions for you, do not hold back. We'll throw them up here, and you guys can be just as much of the conversation as we are.
Sounds like a plan. So for me, originally from the Chicagoland area, grew up playing up in that area. Got married, came out to the Fort Wayne area from that, and have been coaching for Fort Wayne Fever at first, now Fort Wayne United for about 20 years now. Also coached at East Noble in high school for several years, and actually 1 year with the Kelb High School on the girls' side. So just been around and love the game, love being a part of it, and enjoy every opportunity I get to continue in it. So,
yeah, fantastic. Tell us a bit about your crew. What are your boys like? What did this weekend look like? What has the journey looked like to get here? Give us the rundown.
Yeah, without going too long, it's really kind of a special group. Last year they took second place in the state cup. We actually gave up a goal within 15 seconds of the beginning of the game and lost 1-0.
That's
So
brutal.
yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking for the boys, but what it did was I think it kind of fueled their fire for this year. They kind of came with an attitude and came with a focus, and we talked about it today at the end of the season. So at this point in time, this group has won 43 straight games.
Wow.
Yeah, and like, so I guess you could, the semifinals, we also went in the PKs. So our semifinal was a PK shootout. So that one's kind of a tie, but they won it in PKs.
How many PKs?
What's that?
How many PKs?
We won 4-3. So we scored all 4 of ours, and our keeper made 2 saves, 2 great saves,
Nice.
big time saves. Yep.
Love seeing those keepers come through.
Yeah, we actually have a special one, so we enjoy that kid. He's a great kid, and he does a good job for us in the goal. Hank Pearson, just to do the little shout out. Great kid. He's got a very, very bright future.
That's awesome.
Yep. But yeah, it was so went through our prelims. I don't know if you've had experience with the way the state does it, but we were the number 3 seed. And we had 2 groups of 3. So we ended up playing the 2 seed and the 4 seed. So we had to beat 2 pretty decent teams in order to even qualify into the semis. So we ended up beating both of them in the prelims. We kind of knew actually Sports Club Bolton was one of them. They were the number 4 seed, and we knew that they're a good group. So we knew we were going to play them again. We kind of figured it was going to happen. So we had to grind it out in the semis against Indy 11. Beat them in PKs, and then we saw Sports Club today in the final, and is a lot of talent in Northeast Indiana. It was a very, very good game. It's entertaining, hard fought. Both groups came to play, and it was one of the more fun experiences to be a part of. So just good quality soccer.
Yeah,
ended up winning today 3-1. They had us 1-0 until the very end.
Wow,
that's awesome. Going back to an earlier comment, the year of the Indy 11 penalty kicks, like you did that in the semifinals. That's crazy. But how cool is it though? Like we talk about, I remember last year during high school season, we talk about Fort Wayne high school, like never really like Indy's the big city, all their high schools have the better teams and whatever. And we've talked about club, and man, Fort Wayne is winning and competing against Indy 11. The club to be, I know there's a lot of clubs down there, but how cool is that Fort Wayne club teams and high school teams now are going on record and going to Indy and pulling out these upsets at times and bringing home championships. That's awesome.
Well, and today was 2 Fort Wayne teams battling in the final.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
Crazy cool.
Yeah, love it.
A lot of talent in the area. It's we just have to recognize that, and that's what we're doing here on the 260 Soccer Show.
Yeah, love what you guys are doing with that. Yep.
Yep, bring that to light and all the good stuff that we're doing. So question, I just ran down the new format for nationals. Have you ever been to a regional or a national event?
So regionals. So my brother went to a national, so that long time ago. He played in a national event. And at the time, it was literally the regional champions. Only 4 teams went to that. But I've personally been to a regional. I've had a couple of teams go to regionals. Those events in themselves are an experience. It's great for the kids to experience. Like high quality soccer going on, lots of people there, and all just with the same mindset. So it's a great experience. I anticipate that the national event is going to be very similar in nature, where you're going to have a lot of good quality teams out there, a lot of great kids that want to play at a high level, and I think it's going to end up being a good experience.
Absolutely. How do you feel about the new format, bringing in 64 teams and being an 8-day format and skipping right over the regional level? What do you think of that?
It's a tough question to answer, if I'm being honest. So,
hey, we have soapboxes tonight. You're good. Go for it.
Yeah,
right. So I will say this. I love the fact that these kids get an opportunity to play in that meaningful of an event. I think it's amazing. Was the regional event pretty competitive and a pretty meaningful event as it was? Yep, it really was. And it was local. We're going to Utah, which you kind of alluded to. It's going to be pretty intense to get out there. The idea of being in Utah for 8 days is a little overwhelming. But at the end of the day, it's an experience for these kids. And I think that they're going to love the opportunity. And I do think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you can make a national or regional type event, you go into it with a mindset. Yeah, you want to win, but the experience, what you see there is a different level. The pomp and circumstance, the walkouts, the after-match party that they throw, and all of that. It really is an experience to be had. And I'm glad so many from the area can experience it.
And I think it gives you, Rob, you talked about your boys getting to the finals last year and taking home second place, right? Losing in the championship. That giving them that hunger and that drive to go back this year and win it, right? Mm-hmm. These experiences at national events, again, I think give players and coaches who have never been there a vision of what could be. Right. I remember my son playing in national futsal tournament a few years ago and never thought they'd get there. And they got there. And Todd, to your point, it was like, wow, these teams are good. We're seeing teams from Virginia. We're seeing teams from Arizona. We're seeing teams from Chicago. And it's just a lot of fun. But it gave them a vision of what soccer looks like, what styles of play exist out there, and then what these national tournaments could be. And man, gives them a hunger for that next level. So I'm excited to see so many teams from Fort Wayne getting an opportunity to be there, whether it's 64 teams or 30 teams or 24 teams, or whatever it used to be. Like, it's cool that so many get to be there.
Yeah, I think you bring it up actually a great point. So when you're talking about the Midwest, it's general. There's a lot of similar styles in regards to the type of play. Playing a team out of Miami, it's a different game. Playing a team out of New York, it's a different game. Playing a team out of California, it's a different game. They play a different style. So it's actually a great experience for the kids to go out there and play different types of games and adjusting to it and learning from it. And it's a great experience.
Yeah. Rob had a question in the chat. Was there an injury today? Or
our keeper. So
okay.
in the PKs, he made the last save and hurt his wrist on it.
How's he doing? We got a question in the comments about that.
We're gonna find out tomorrow.
Okay. Don't know yet. All right.
Tomorrow.
Enjoy the win can be a good painkiller,
right?
At times,
for a couple hours. Hours.
I
don't know, that hour and a half drive back. That's enough time for that pain to start.
Yep, that's when the pain set in. Yep.
Yep, it is. I will never forget. We're talking about national events and the experience, and now injuries. So in national championship game, it would have been 2016. One of our girls from sport club broke another girl's arm. Final 2 minutes of the game. I mean, it was a clean play. It was just a collision. Goes down, breaks her arm. And she was, down, but as soon as they won, that smile came. There was no pain to be felt in that arm and it was a team from California, and they were on, you talked about teams from California, New York, different game, different level. They were well-deserved to win that, but yeah, I'll never forget that smile when they won, knowing that she was in pain.
Yeah. Brian, are you throwing up Christina's comment? I see it highlighted.
Yeah, I will here. So question is, how are the host sites chosen for these events?
Oh,
do we know that?
I believe they are petitioned, like the host site, applies to host it, and they try to rotate them around a little bit. That's why you see them in different places every year, both the regionals and the national championship.
Yeah.
So you see them a lot of times at places like Grand Park, Overland Park, Kansas, St. Louis. I can't remember the facility there. The big facility in St. Louis, Oklahoma City. Some of these cities that have big facilities, but the state organization or whoever wants to host it petitions, and they rotate them around.
Yeah.
That's interesting too right now with the World Cup. Like they were just talking about how every team has to be hosted. They've got to have a place to stay, a place to train. Obviously, this is a much smaller scale, but it still factors into the logistics of all of it.
For sure.
Is it a smaller scale? It's 64 teams.
Okay. You know what I mean?
For each age group and each gender.
And parents for everybody and the little siblings.
Parents for everybody. That's a pretty big event with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I hear tickets are a lot cheaper, by the way.
Yes.
And that doesn't take much.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, I got a question for you about just this next step, right? As you go to nationals, we talk about the logistics and stuff. What is the next step for you guys now that you've had 3 or 4 hours to think about it? Like, what's the plan moving forward to, like, when will you know, like, your hotel logistics, how you're traveling, all that kind of stuff? I assume that's got to come pretty quick here.
Yeah, so we actually qualified for nationals in Arizona, so in January.
Oh, okay.
So we've taken some steps. We were able to do some things to try and help in regards to the costs and trying to get some of those things organized. We actually also qualified for the NAL nationals, which is in Pennsylvania, 2 weeks from now. So we had 2 different events that we were trying to get ourselves organized with. So we know that we're going to be pretty busy this summer. But getting ready for those types of things and making sure that we're getting the hotels and making sure that everybody can afford it and find ways to get off of work. And we're helping with some of the travel, and some of our kids is getting jumping in with all different cars. So it takes some organization, and we get, the parent group that I have is actually a very special parent group. So they work very well together, and they've gotten a lot of different things organized, and they help each other out. So it is a challenge, and I think you guys kind of alluded to it before. It's a long event, so you get the 3 prelim games, and depending on how you do, you're either there and you have to try and get yourselves organized and find more hotel rooms, or you're leaving. So it takes some coordinating.
I'll bet it does.
You brought up a good point. So you qualified at the Arizona event, right? Yep. So that leaves Bochum, as I mentioned, gets the state bid. Let's have a United Sport Club national championship.
That would be awesome.
That'd be incredible. Can you imagine?
That'd be awesome.
Let's go for that. How's that sound?
Why not? A third game, because we actually played them in the prelims and the finals. The third game. Why not?
Let's do it.
It really is 2 good teams. So.
I mean, at that point, ESPN needs to pick it up.
Right? That'd be awesome.
So cool. Rob, we have a standing question around here that I think Brian's going to give us a little intro for, if you don't mind, sir.
Love it.
We saw this for the first time like 45 minutes ago, and it still makes me laugh. Okay, so
I'm so sorry, Paul. I thought you had used that, and I stole your thunder. My apologies, but it was too good to see the look on Todd's face when he saw it for the first time.
Christina loves it. Okay, Rob, 2 questions. Favorite concessions food, because that's near and dear to Todd's heart, but then also favorite restaurant in Fort Wayne, like the place that people may not know about that they really need to make sure they hit up.
Oh, that made it even tougher. So from a Chicagoland guy, I was going to say Portillo's and Giordano's, 2 Chicago places.
No, that's cheating. Fort Wayne.
I know.
Come on,
I'm
man.
recognizing that now. Oh, wow. So kind of
you picked the only 2 Chicago restaurants in this whole city.
Exactly. I love them. We just had Giordano's tonight. It was a celebratory pizza, so it was awesome.
That's dirty.
Yeah. So, So, kind of obscure, might not know about it place. There's a Thai restaurant right by where we live, Yum Thai. Yeah, they've got a great curry, so we enjoy the coconut curry there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the gas station tacos that's like in the parking lot of Menards off Illinois. If you have not been, go. And I used to live in Mexico. Like Salsa Grill is a staple, but those gas station tacos, do not be scared of the fact that they're in a gas station. They're delicious.
That's awesome.
No,
concession stand. So as a high school guy, I would say just a good popcorn from a concession stand. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Fresh popcorn, not popcorn that they popped before the game and put in boxes and said, "Here you go. We've had this waiting for an hour and a half."
Yep, it's got to be warm. Yep,
yeah,
very true.
Yeah. Hey, we have one more question for you, if you will. We'll bring it back a little more serious. Obviously, you've got a crazy full summer. Lots of things going with these boys before next steps, but United's doing something new and something really cool with MLS Next. And rumor has it you'll be an MLS Next coach. Social media post came out. Can you talk to us just a little bit about what that looks like? Maybe even concerns you might have of like, man, I don't know how to figure or traverse this part of it. Just kind of lay that out for us.
So trials are next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the MLS Next. Pretty excited about it, to be honest with you. There's a lot of positives that are going to come from it. Just between exposure, just playing against some quality teams. One of the biggest things that we're kind of excited about is the MLS Next Fest. So they take the homegrown teams, the academy division teams, and they go into Arizona, which it is a trek, but we go to Arizona and everybody's there for this event. Including they have MLS teams that are doing their preseason at the same complex.
Very cool.
Yep. So you get that type of exposure. You get exposure to coaches that are going to be around. And we talked about it. You know, you've got just a huge event with lots of quality players there. It ends up being a great experience for the kids. So pretty excited about that. And then the opportunity, if you win leagues and so on and so forth, you get opportunities at MLS Cup, which is similar in nature, where you're going to be exposed to a lot of good quality teams, good kids around. And so excited about the potential opportunities for some of the kids.
Yeah, for sure. And you're following the new age group shift, right?
Yep. We're going to be doing the August to July. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. Any other questions, guys?
I think he answered a lot of my questions. I'm really excited for your team, man. And best of luck moving forward in both national events you get to play in. That's awesome. Represent Fort Wayne well.
Yeah, will do. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, thanks for being here. We appreciate having you.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you. You guys are doing a great job. I love this idea. So keep it up.
Awesome. Hey, be careful. We're going to bring you back if you're too complimentary.
There you go. Love it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Rob.
See you, Rob.
Have a good one.
Fantastic. You guys, it's late. Do we want to jump to our mid-show ad real fast, and we'll come right back and chit-chat a bit more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. I got to find it. Where did Paul put it?
The
260 Soccer Show is powered by Fort Wayne Footy, where Fort Wayne's soccer conversation lives. If you're enjoying the show, we've got one simple way you can help us keep this going, and that's to join the Footy Faithful over on Patreon at Fort Wayne Footy. Your support directly fuels everything that we do, from this show, the 260 Soccer Show, to Fort Wayne Footy on Monday nights, helping us bring you better stories, deeper coverage, and shining more of a spotlight on the players, coaches, clubs, and communities that make soccer thrive right here in Fort Wayne. We've got membership options for everyone, including a free option if you just want to check things out. Every dollar helps us celebrate the game and elevate the conversation around soccer at every level in our city. So if you believe in what we're doing, join the Footy Faithful today on Patreon at Fort Wayne Footy.
Huh. It's like you were never gone.
It's like I was never gone, wearing the same outfit and everything. I just recorded that live just now.
Don't buy it, people.
Hey, let me
lying.
just say this. We don't often get a chance to shout out our Patreon members on this show. But we do have a new Patreon member that signed up during tonight's show. Zachary Schaefer jumped on at the $10 a month member level. So welcome to the squad. Welcome to the Footy Faithful, Zach. Thanks for being part of it and supporting what we do here.
So does that mean that Zach's first Patreon event is going to be Fort Wayne Footy Unfiltered?
Probably so.
Welcome
he heard
to
us
the family.
talking about it, and he was like, "All right, let's do it."
I'm
I'm not sure they're ready for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm ready for that. Let's talk before we do this, guys.
Yikes. Hey, Todd, just to get us off of that before we get too deep into it, can you just give us a quick rundown highlight of these last few middle school playoffs that happened this past week?
Absolutely. I believe the final championships were the NE8, which is this kind of the surrounding counties around Allen County. The championships were on May 26th for the boys. DeKalb over Harding put DeKalb undefeated for the season. So some good stuff happening up there on the boys' side. And the girls, Leo, 4-1 win over Indian Springs. Indian Springs feeds Columbia City. So the girls there doing well. And I know both of those coaching staffs do a lot with camps and getting their middle school and elementaries going. As always, thanks to Tony Messman, Andrew Bigelow for the NE8 updates for the season. And I think with that, that's a wrap on middle school. So what starts Monday?
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think one of the coolest things about these middle school rundowns, not to like fast forward time and not for you parents of middle schoolers, because you don't want time to fast forward, but it's really fun to see all these feeder schools and then being able to look forward and being like, these are the boys and girls that are going to play for these high schools. And I imagine we start to see similar score lines as they move up through the ranks. Obviously, they've got some more options. You've got kids that are going parochial or private, kids that are shifting. I know Homestead's got a new plan with open enrollment, whatever the rules are on that. But it is fun to think about these middle school kids, both. So like Rob's crew, they're middle school boys and they're feeding these high school teams. And it just keeps perpetuating, which is super fun. I love that. Very good.
Yeah.
Hey, let's shift and answer some questions. But to do that, we need our keys to the game.
Keys to the game.
Our Keys to the Game segment is sponsored by Michelle Snyder of Northeastern Group Realty. With 22 years of experience and a heart for helping, Michelle's got your real estate needs covered from kickoff to closing. Just call or text her at 260-615-6289. And with that, Brian, can you give us a quick key to the game when it comes to the World Cup and all of these crazy rule changes?
Absolutely. Quick shout out to Michelle Snyder's son, Lane, who we interviewed, and while he was playing for the Summit City Sentinels, was on that 19U team that won State Cup today. Also had, I think, maybe missed his high school graduation because of State Cup today. So maybe caught the very end of it. I can't remember how that all worked out, but
hang on. I got it on that note. I had a valedictorian graduate tonight who may or may not have had her speech ready yet. She takes the team picture with the game ball in the goal and said, "Coach, I got to skip the medal presentation. I got to go. I got to wash my hair. I got to dry it. I got to get my clothes ready. I get my speech ready. I got to be at school at this time." So she literally took one team picture, and then I have her medal to give to her at practice this week.
Man.
But that just
don't those speeches have to be approved?
She did a practice one. I
Okay.
shouldn't say this. I won't say.
Yeah,
what
you
school.
probably should. Let's get off that soapbox. Let's move on.
We're good. We're good. I won't say the school. So she did a practice one that wasn't. She didn't prepare it, and they were like, "That was profound." And she's like, "Oh, good. I guess I'm fine."
Awesome.
So I assume she did the same thing again today.
Awesome. Well, hey, yeah, I thought since I got invited to be part of the show that I would just change it up and bring a different key to the game that is outside of our local soccer world. But the fact that the World Cup is coming here, the world is coming to the United States and to Mexico and Canada for the World Cup that starts in just a couple weeks. And there's been some rule changes in that game that's coming. And so I wanted to talk about a few of those tonight and get your guys' thoughts and ask those of you who are in the comments kind of your thoughts on some of these rule changes, because they may not seem like a big deal, but they could really be a big deal, because a lot of times when they test these rules out at these professional levels, they trickle down to youth soccer as well. And we will start seeing some of these here locally. If not next year, I would imagine pretty soon here. So the rule about, the goalkeeper only being able to hold the ball for 6 seconds or 8 seconds before it's awarded to a corner kick for the other team. Like, we're going to start seeing that. I think we've already seen that in a number of times this last year. But so a couple rule changes, just wanted to get your thoughts on for the World Cup this year. When it comes to time wasting, throw-ins and goal kicks are two of the places where people waste a lot of time, right? Standing around, goalkeepers pushing their team forward. No, come back. We want to pass it. No, get back. Like, we see that a lot, right? A lot of time wasting there and a lot of time wasting on throw-ins, waiting for players to get in position, whatever. There's now going to be a 5-second countdown to avoid the intentional time wasting, specifically when this happens at the end of games or when teams are up 1-0 and they're just wasting time for the last 20 minutes. It really slows the game down. How frustrating is that, right? So there will now be a 5-second countdown to avoid this intentional time wasting. And once the 5 seconds is up, if it's a throw-in, it will be awarded to the opposing team. For a throw-in, it will be a change of possession. If it's a goalkeeper or a center back or someone wasting time on a goal kick, it will result in a corner kick for the opposing team. So my questions, and we saw this in the Fort Wayne FC game, not to take it to there, but bring it a little bit locally.
But you will anyways.
Yeah, we saw Burn Shipman, our goalkeeper, get a yellow card for time wasting. This rule is not in play yet, but right now it's at the ref's discretion. So he gets a yellow card for time wasting. And then the ball boys, this is at an away game in Boise, and the ball kids were like, every time the ball is out of bounds, they're throwing him the ball immediately. Like, no more time wasting against our team. And he's like, no, stop, just it'll be okay.
Got my strategy.
So my question is, what are your thoughts on time wasting in general in soccer? And will this help the time wasting issue?
I prefer to call it game management or clock management versus time wasting. I think sometimes it gets excessive, and it's similar to what we're seeing in the NBA, where they haven't called a travel or a double dribble in the last 5 years. I'm confident of it. And it's some of these rules that they weren't in place because they didn't need to be there. Yes, there's strategery behind clock and game management, but the fact that we're seeing yellow cards for time wasting probably means that the rule does need to be in place. There's certainly strategy in soccer of taking it to the corner flag. This isn't really that. That ball could technically be in play. This is all those peripheral things that probably needed to go a long time ago.
I like it. My only beef with it is you have different numbers, different amount of times for whether the goalkeeper has the ball or whether it's a goal kick, whether it's a throw. These different numbers, I think, get a little confusing. But something needs to be done to stop the time wasting, to stop the diving, to stop the rolling around on the ground like you just got shot when the video shows that you didn't even get touched, right?
And then hopping up when it didn't go your way,
And then
all of a
hopping
sudden
up
you're
when it
healed.
didn't go your way. I say it all the time. Shut up and play. The people I coach, and just shut up and play. It just play the game, play it hard, and see what the result is. All of this gamesmanship. People say it's gamesmanship. It's this. It's that. No, just play the game and see what the result is.
Yeah, and so one of the rules I wasn't going to bring up, and I don't think we need to go into it, is if a player does need training, like a trainer will come out, medical help or whatever, they need to get their treatment off field. And they're off field for 60 seconds before they can come on. MLS has instituted some of these rules. Matt McWilliams in the chat. Aren't they just using MLS rules on time wasting and subs? And yes, and I think MLS got those from other leagues that were trialing them in other places and brought them here. And so the rules have been shared around other professional leagues. So they are cutting down on that. I equate it to the pitch clock in baseball, right? A pitcher used to be able to hold the ball as long as they want, and now they got a pitch clock, and you can almost, I don't watch baseball a lot, but for my friends that are baseball fans say you can almost clock a baseball game now and know how long it's going to be because of the pitch clock. And so that is to that end, I love it. In the last World Cup, we started seeing 9 minutes and 12 minutes of added time, and maybe we won't see that this time. So so that's one of the rules, the 5-second rule. So if you see that and you go, why it was a goal kick, why is it now a corner kick? That's probably one of the reasons why. The other one I thought was interesting that I wanted to bring up, and I know we're getting kind of late on time here, so if you can stick with us a few more minutes. Red cards will now be issued, straight red card, for a player that covers their mouth when they're talking to a referee or an opponent. So it could be with their hand, their jerseys, pull up over their face, covered with their arm. This is where this comes from. It's a report from the BBC. It's not where the rule comes from, but this is some of the background. Kalina, they were talking about a game that happened. Kalina also explained the new rule for players who cover their mouths with a hand, arm, or shirt in confrontation with an opponent. This will now be a red card after the controversial incident that happened with Benfica winger Gianluca Prestiani and Real Madrid's Vinny Jr. in a Champions League game in February. Prestiani received a 6-game ban for homophobic conduct. So something he said, something he did, he received a 6-game ban. I'm not arguing that was, too much or what. Like, I get it. But if he says, if the conversation is friendly, this is a quote. If the conversation is friendly, they can continue to have it without any problem, Kalina said. When the conversation is confrontational, covering the mouth means that you are doing something very wrong, potentially, and the sanction is the red card. This is where I sort of have a problem with this. I don't condone homophobic language. I don't condone racial language. I don't condone any of that can happen on a soccer field, right? You see big time major bans for this. But you're guessing at what someone says because they covered their mouth. That's what I don't like about this particular rule. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Is a red card warranted here?
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think part of it too, if the official starts to come into that conversation, like I can see players doing, "Hey sir, can you watch number 14?" I didn't say anything wrong, but I don't want my opponent knowing, "Hey, we're on to this chick." That was not derogatory towards her, to number 14. It was literally just, please keep an eye on them. I covered my mouth, but when we start guessing, yeah, I do agree that it's the whole, like, nothing good happens after midnight. Why do you need to cover your mouth if you're talking to an opponent? Probably you're not saying something
you are
should
self-conscious about your bad breath.
Yes, I'm sure that's it. But like, even just look at the FC game on Saturday. there were infractions that are far worse to me than guessing at words that didn't even get a yellow card. So jumping to a straight red on a guess leaves a lot of room for interpretation, and I think maybe a slippery slope. I agree with you. That language, those comments are never warranted. They're never okay. They're never acceptable. But a red card needs to be reserved for, I don't know, the things that it's typically used for.
Yeah. Todd, any
Well, see,
thoughts on this one?
I would equate it almost to simulation, right? You know, why are you doing this? You know, why are you doing this if you aren't doing something you shouldn't be doing? You know, I think it's helps with transparency. It helps with enforcing, you know, if a further ban is warranted, you know, because now we can hear it a little bit better. We can see it. To Amanda's, you can just walk up behind a ref and, you know, hey, watch 14, you know, and nobody's going to hear you but the two of you.
Yeah,
You can pull them
sure.
aside a little bit and do it.
Unless you
I
have the
don't
captain's
necessarily-
band on. That's the other
Yeah.
rule that was instituted a few years ago, right?
Mhm.
Only
Yeah.
the captain can talk to the referee.
Yeah, and you know, I think those are good things. And look at why do we have to have these rules, right? Rules and the game changes because of necessity, because of how people manipulate the rules, right? You go back to the time wasting. Why do we have the pass back to the keeper rule, right? Look at some of those games where it was 20 minutes of just passing back to the keeper. They pick it up, they roll it, right? We had to change the rule because people weren't playing the game in the spirit of the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I get
know?
that. And I'm going to throw up a couple comments here. Red card rule is so much gray area. I don't know how you enforce it. Red cards are for blatant misconduct, not guesswork. And I think that's my biggest problem with this particular rule is you are guessing that someone said something wrong. Now, it could be they did, right? And so the red card is warranted. But it could be, like Amanda said, you are in the habit. You're a professional player and your entire career has been, hey, watch number 14, right? Mentioning things to your own players, even as you're walking by an opponent's close and you want to say something to your own player about, you know, the next corner kick, watch Mark so-and-so. An opponent's close. Now a ref has to say, like, there's no guesswork anymore. And that's part of it. There's no guesswork. It's you covered your mouth, said something, it's a red card, you're out. My problem is it's not reviewable because there's no sense of, I was just telling my player to mark number 14, right? There's no argument. It's not reviewable in that sense. Whereas if something is said, something is heard, you can go back and read lips, whatever, or, you know, when their mouth's covered, you can't. But what I'm saying is, you're just guessing that they said something bad here. And that's what I don't like.
It also avoids the she said type scenario, you know, oh, did you hear what he just said about me? No, I was just saying that you had to mark this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
To get out of it. I'm still waiting for the first person that kind of wipes some sweat off.
Yep.
Red card. I just had to wipe sweat off my face.
Yeah.
Well, and the reality too is
well, here you
on
go.
a
There's
yellow.
that. Yeah.
You just say it? Oh yeah, totally. On it, did you like that was my 44-year-old eyes. I literally had to back up from the screen to be able to read that. That's pathetic. My glasses are sitting right here, don't you worry. But on a yellow, honestly, I could give a concussion. I could break a leg. I broke a leg in high school and I got a yellow. I'm sorry, but those are stronger infractions than this. Giving somebody a concussion, putting them out of the game. Yes, our words have to be guarded, but if we're going to use these cards, they've got to be used with consistency. And if I'm causing physical harm to somebody that pulls them out of a game for the foreseeable future, that's where I struggle with it.
Yeah. Well, there's more we could talk about. I know we're getting late here tonight. There are a few other rules that maybe we can cover in other episodes or other shows that we do, but just wanted to give a sense of some new things that we're going to be watching when the World Cup comes to town here in just a few weeks. Come to the country, not to town. It's not going anywhere close to our town, but comes to our country here in just a couple of weeks. So that will do it for this segment of Keys to the Game.
Brian just about wrapped up this entire show like he normally does. Fort Wayne Footy. That'll do it for
this segment.
It's my job.
Keys to the game.
Look at you shutting me up with a graphic.
I told you at the top of the show, be careful. Be careful. I've got full control.
Hey, on that note, guys, what are your final thoughts for this week? Something to throw out there.
Tryouts starting for travel this week. Different clubs have them different days because of the different leagues and the different rules and all of that happening. If you're interested in playing soccer at a higher level, look into the clubs, see what they've got. Like we talked, plenty of talent in the city, plenty of options. Find the right fit for the parents, for the players. It's a stressful time. Am I going to make the team? Am I going to make this team? Do I, especially with the age group change, we've got 3 new leagues coming to the city that we've talked about, all of this. My message to parents, sit back, enjoy the ride. It goes quick. It's over before you know it. You will find a fit. You will find a good opportunity. Enjoy it. Players, work hard. Enjoy it. Tryouts is a stressful time, but enjoy it. Enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Well, and if you want further evidence of that, go back a couple of weeks to our interview with Landon and Lucha. And they took very different paths, and they're now sitting in the same spot. When we had Emerson Nieto on, very different path than a lot of the guys that are playing for Fort Wayne FC. But it still gets you there. You've got to enjoy the ride. I tell my girls that all the time. If you lose the joy of the game, we need to have a long conversation. If you're not doing this for you because you find joy in it, let's have a long conversation. Those aren't conversations that we need to shy away from, but man, there's too much to this to enjoy, that if you find yourself in that spot of where it's just the stress without, man, I love knocking this ball around. Then it's time to take a little look and figure out where you're going to be. Absolutely. Brian, how about you?
Yeah, I guess final thoughts. There were a couple shouts here in the comments I didn't get to put up to Adam Fox and Zach Schaefer of the American Outlaws for hosting a watch party today for the U.S. Men's National Team friendly. So that's awesome to see the American Outlaws Fort Wayne chapter happening. That'll be a local thing.
Was that Hop River?
I was at Hop River today.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. And then the win over Senegal today was pretty cool in the friendly. So that was, wanted to get to those comments. My final thought is just, it's been so fun being at the Fort Wayne FC matches and seeing so many people from the soccer community that I kind of alluded to earlier in the show. People we know from high school soccer, people we know from club soccer, people we know from multiple clubs and futsal clubs in the area that we just run into. And it is the place, I know Paul wrote about this in an article recently. If you haven't checked that out, go to our website and look at one of our most recent articles by Paul Johnson, that this is the social place to be for soccer people in the area. And it's growing beyond just soccer fans. But for me, as a soccer fan, my love for the game runs deep, and my love for the people who love the game runs deep. And so it's just a fun place to see so many people from so many different avenues of soccer that I've been a part of. So yeah, get out to a Fort Wayne FC game. Unfortunately, there's not going to be one in June. They come back in July, but keep that on your radar. It's a great place to see a lot of people that maybe you don't expect to see. But once you see them, you're like, oh yeah, this makes sense. So a lot of fun there.
Yeah. Hey, I think Christina's paid some extra money for Patreon because her comments this will be like comment number 7, but go ahead and throw that last one up there just to make sure everybody sees it. And yeah, she's exactly right. So maybe Fort Wayne FC is not at home, but the fandom doesn't stop. So make sure that you guys catch all the watch parties. And then be ready for the game on July 4th. I do believe that has been labeled the official grand opening. Those of us that have been to games this month, we've kind of got to watch the process of like, hey, my seat's not there yet. Oh, wait, there it is. Or that bathroom's not open yet, or that concession stand. And you just got to slowly watch this thing take shape. And then this Saturday, I was down in Indy, but watching it on TV, that huge board, like they're getting so close to having the structure and to be able to put that up. My brother and I were watching and he was like, man, I feel like that thing might get distracting, like to the players. They're going to be looking for themselves up there. That thing's huge. But what a fun place to be. And Christina's right. Catch the watch parties. Those are always a great time. Christina, you have my word right now. I will make it to one in the month of June because that hasn't happened yet. My final thought, I actually don't know that any of my players know that I'm even on a podcast. I don't think a single one of them watch or listen, that's got to change, ladies. But I have to shout them out. Like they stepped up. I'm just gonna be real honest. This team beat us 3-0 last Saturday, a man down, and we walked away with the title today. Talk about resilience, talk about mindset, talk about gut and grit and players that they just competed today for 90 minutes. They did actually, that's not true because we had penalties. 90, however many that took. I paced. I literally have a broken foot right now. I have a boot on my foot and I paced the PKs. It was ridiculous. But they showed up, they showed out, they showed who they are, they stayed true to who they are, and I'm just crazy proud of them. So if any of you are watching this, I'm proud of you. I love you. If you're not, you should, because we're fun. On that note, I think that's a wrap for us tonight. If you have anything to report for us, we love to shout out local soccer. Please make sure to reach out to us. You can get us on email at info@fortwaynefooty.com. Catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And then I think there's a couple of people that are doing a show tomorrow night, sometime around 9:00, same bat time, same bat channel. Brian, you need to put me on the show tomorrow and give me the controls so I can get you back for tonight. But
that is not going to happen.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That'd be a bad idea coming and going. But they're going to dive into the AV Alta game, and all things Fort Wayne Football Club. So, hey, thanks for being with us tonight and we will see you guys next week.